Begin when ready.
We need to help with the issue of bullying. Have you ever had that terrible day at school because that group of mean kids was picking on you? Or have you ever just wanted to never to go to school again? In this speech, I'm going to explain why we need to change the anti-bullying program to help with the amount of bullying. You may be one person in the world, but by making someone's life better to that one person, you may be the world. All in all, the anti-bullying program at Lakeview Middle School is not working because there's still bullying. A survey was given at Lakeview to determine the amounts of bullying and how people feel about it. 10% of the respondents have been bullied 2 to 3 times a month. Sadly, 28% of the bullied boys and girls have not told anyone about it. Also, 14% of the students responded that they dislike very much about school. This could be because they just don't like school in general, but it also could be because they're harassed at school, which causes them to not like coming. This proves a lot about the Olweus bullying program and how it is not working. Also, people deserve to feel safe in their learning environment so they can focus on gaining new knowledge. At freebullies.com, it states that bullying distracts not only the victims, but also the bullies and witnesses from learning. Bullies who are plotting their next attack or victims who are consumed with anxiety and fear about their next encounter with a bully will have difficulty focusing on the lesson. It is also more difficult for teachers who spend a great deal of their day focusing on behavior management problems rather than their real work of teaching. Students who are bullied are more likely to stay away from school than those who feel safe. This has a major effect on their educational achievement, ability to make friends, and their self-esteem. Bullies and victims also have fewer coping strategies. This can cause them to not be able to form long-term relationships. A person who is bullied can have long-term trauma. At kidscape.org.uk, a survey was given to over 1,000 adults. It showed that bullying affects not only your self-esteem as an adult, but your ability to make friends, succeed in education, and in work and social relationships. Nearly half, 46% of those who were bullied considered suicide, compared to the 7% who were not bullied and contemplated suicide. Of the 1,044 adults who took part in the survey, 828 were bullied at school. 70% of the bullied respondents were women. The most likely explanation for the large number of females is that the radio and television programs on which the survey was mentioned took place almost exclusively during the day. Also, it is likely that women are more likely to share emotional, personal experiences than men. The thing that saddens me most is that most of the adults received no help at the time to stop the bullying, and telling either made matters worse or had no effect. Although my opponent may say that bullying is not an issue at Lakeview, they are wrong because there is still bullying. 11% of the 7th graders who responded to the Olweus survey have been bullied 2 to 3 times a month, and 8% of the 8th graders who have responded have been bullied 2 to 3 times a month. My opponent may also say that they have never seen bullying at Lakeview, but they are wrong because bullying comes in many different forms, like verbal, physical, or cyber. They could also mistake bullying as friends just joking around, when in reality, the victim doesn't take it that way. Therefore, we need to help with the issue of bullying. I explain why the anti-bullying program at Lakeview isn't working, why people deserve to feel safe in their learning environment, and that if someone is bullied, it can cause lifelong trauma for them. I proved that there is bullying at Lakeview and that bullying can be mistaken for other things. ABC News covered a story about a teenage boy who was bullied. Eric Mohat, age 17, was harassed so intensely in high school that when one bully said publicly in class, "Why don't you go home and shoot yourself? No one will miss you," he did.
1, 2, 3.